The badge that we'll present to our newly promoted officers and that will be pinned on our new hires at the end of Academy has a rich history associated with bravery, service, and honor. We often talk about the badge as if it is in and of itself the goal we strive for, but we know that it represents far more than just a new job or a promotion. It's a symbol of our solemn responsibility to our community that we accept when we accept that badge. It represents the hours and hours of preparation, study, and mentoring invested into preparing for the next role. It represents our passion to serve, our accountability to the team. It represents our attitude and our work ethic. It represents a sacred bond that exists between our community members who are experiencing their very worst day and the very best that all of you bring to them as you come to their assistance. Today we're going to celebrate with each of you who have hit milestones, whether entry-level, promotion, or retirement. We're also going to celebrate what we do together to protect and enhance the quality of life in the city, in the community here. We're a small department with big dreams. We've built a remarkable organization together, not just because we have great chief officers, talented company officers, and really high caliber EMS providers and firefighters. We provide a remarkable service to our community because the contribution to the team that each of you makes individually and because of what we do together. Each and every one of you brings education, life experience, perspective, and a particular passion to this job that somebody else doesn't. And it's in our collective contribution of all those individual knowledge, skills, and abilities to our mission that will provide the very best service to this community. There is no finer group of people under the roof of one organization than what we have here at Richland Fire and Emergency Services. We talk about the importance of pride and ownership, and I want you all to know how intensely proud I am to be as part of all of this with you, what we do together. Our future is brighter than it's ever been, and together we're going to continue to transform our service to the community and positively impact the industry that we so proudly represent. We have a lot of work in front of us over the next couple of years. And if I'm totally honest with you, in 2 years, I'm going to stand right here again and say, we have a lot of work in front of us over the next couple of years. So in the midst of that busyness that is our reality, let's for this afternoon come together to celebrate each other, pause for a moment to be thankful for our organization, for our community, and for one another. One of the things that I've wanted to do for some time is expand just a little bit what we celebrate together here at our badging and retirement ceremony. And I thought it might be nice to acknowledge a couple of other milestones that we are beginning to see in the organization. This year, Adam Hardgrove, is Adam here? I didn't see him. Adam is not here. This year, Adam Hardgrove he was the first of our officers to complete the Managing Officer program at the National Fire Academy. It's a 2-year program. Our officers go back for 2 weeks at a time, spend that on campus and away from their families. And the program outline is this. The National Fire Academy's Managing Officer program is a multi-year curriculum that introduces emerging emergency services leaders to personal and professional skills in change management, risk reduction, and adaptive leadership. Acceptance into the program is the first step in professional development as fire EMS manager and includes all 4 elements of professional development, including education, training, experience, and continued education. So our first person that I would like to acknowledge today and give a round of applause to, even though he wasn't able to join us, is Adam Hardgrove for being our first officer to complete that program at the National Fire Academy. In addition, last year, Joe DeRossi, one of our captains, completed his bachelor's degree, and I think I saw Joe there in the back. And Joe is also nearing completion of the Managing Officer program and will be done as soon as the final project's done? Oh, yeah. Yes, Joe's last class got rescheduled because of the government shutdown, so he's got one more trip back east and then a final project. So Joe's midway through that program as well, and we look forward to celebrating that with him when he completes that. So let's give Joe a round of applause for the work he's doing there. And finally, I'm very, very excited to let everybody know that we have an officer here who has been accepted to the Executive Fire Officer program at the National Fire Academy. You all know, who know me, know that that program is very near and dear to my heart, and that program is described in this way. The National Fire Academy's Executive Fire Officer program provides senior fire officers and emerging leaders with a broad perspective on various facets of fire and emergency services administration. The courses and accompanying research examine how to exercise leadership when dealing with difficult or unique problems within communities. And I'm very, very excited to say that Captain Randy Ost has been accepted to that program and will be headed back in April to start that. Okay, now we'll get to the good stuff that everybody I think is looking forward to, the badging. We'll start with our rank of firefighter. We have 3 new employees who are in academy as we speak. This is our first run at doing a joint local academy. The state academy continues to be overbooked and more difficult to get seats in. And so we undertook a collaborative effort with Pasco Fire Department, and we're hosting a local academy with full IFSAC certification. Everything that they would get from the state academy with the bonus of training to our local curriculum and local standards. So they are not here with us today, but those 3 gentlemen are Darren Larpenter, hired in January, Joseph Owens, also hired in January, and Brett Allman, also in January. They'll be done near the end of April, as I recall, and then a couple of weeks after that, be hitting shift in time for wildland season. So we're excited to have them on board, and we will, next February, put some badges on them and present them to you live and in person. Additionally, we had somebody in the same scenario last year who was at Academy and is here with us today. So if Joe Webster would come up, and Captain Landon is going to do his badging. Let's give Joe a hand. A few words? You sure?
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Right. Hey everyone, I'm Joe. So I grew up in Richland, and just like every 5-year-old little boy, I want to be a firefighter. And life took me the way it did. I'm 24 now. And Chief here really went out of his way to get me on Richland Fire. I've kind of had a journey with the military, and I can't express how fortunate I feel that I was able to get hired on here, given the circumstances. I know that the Chief went out of his way, really went out of his way, to hire me on for this position. So thanks everyone that's taught me everything so far. I'm looking forward to everything that has to come, and I appreciate all of you, Captain Ost, who puts me through the ringer every day. And yeah, thanks for all for being here, and I hope I can fulfill the shoes of those that have retired and those that are ahead of me. Thanks.
Joe represents our rank of firefighter, and of course these are the folks, those of you who are firefighters, medics, who are out delivering the service to the community, hands-on in the living rooms and interacting with those folks who are having a bad day, and I think really having a much greater impact than we operate on. So thank you to all of you, and congratulations to Joe and the other 3 guys who are in Academy. Next we want to move into the promotions that were made over the last year. Our company officers are responsible for the operation of the station on a daily basis. They are the ones who set the work tone, the environment. They are the ones who get, oversee the work and make sure that it gets done. The training is up to date, and all positive and productive environment for crews. As one of our overriding goals here is we want this to be a place where everybody loves coming to work, and you company officers are the ones who set that tone for the organization. In the early days of American firefighting, prior to all of our wireless radios and technology that we have today, orders were given at a fire scene using a brass megaphone known as a bugle. The person holding the bugle and therefore giving the orders was easily identified as the leader. Today, the bugle is a symbol of leadership in the fire department, and the more bugles on the badge, the higher the level of leadership is what we would expect. So we'll start with the single bugle on the lieutenant's badge, and the first promotion that we'd like to celebrate today is Andy Sabin. His wife, Kinsey, is going to do the badging. Okay, our next lieutenant promotion has been a long time in the making. Ken Beekler, gosh, Ken has been testing, well, when I think I took my very first promotion test with you, or the second one. Ken has been, if there was a perseverance award, Ken would be the number one recipient of that. He has remained committed to his desire to promote and to contribute to this organization. And I was very, very proud and excited to be able to give him that phone call and offer him the promotion here a few weeks ago. So, Ken Beekler, come on up. And he will be badged by his wife, Debbie.
I'd like to thank everybody who's put up with me for the 20 years I've been working at this. I'd like to thank Ryan Nielsen for the 3 years I've spent here at Station 4 and just for the latitude he's given me and what he's taught me. Other than that, persistence, don't give up. I think I'm now that some of the older guys are here, I actually think I'm the first person to promote who's been eligible to retire, and I haven't had anybody who's been able to argue that, so thank you.
And our final promotion in this calendar year that we are celebrating is Josh Patterson to the rank of captain. So he gets 2 bugles on his badge. Josh has been on a little bit of a roller coaster here with us. He applied for and was appointed to a position on days and came in and just absolutely hit the ground running. We loved having him with us on days, and was it 3 months later? Ended up getting the promotion, so now he's back on shift. So Ken actually came behind him and is filling that day position now, and we're excited for all of that movement and those opportunities for all of you guys. So Josh, come on up. And Josh will be badged by his wife, Jen. it's always, I think, nice. I'm speculating because I haven't had the privilege of being at that point yet, but to be on the cusp of retirement and to be able to look at who is coming behind you, maybe on the entry-level list or the promotional lists, and maybe create a spot for somebody to get a promotion. So that was what Josh was pointing out for John Stuckey, one of our retirees that we'll honor here. You know, we work a lot of years, and we give our heart and soul and blood and guts to this job, and to seeing things that we will carry with us into our last days that we wish we hadn't seen. We will carry those good calls and the bad calls with us. We will give a little piece of ourselves to each member of the community that we interact with on those 911 calls. And we do that in the hopes that we can get to this next phase that we'll celebrate here, and that is the retirement years, where we can unpack some of that baggage and do a little more fishing and drink a little more coffee and have a little more maybe camaraderie without some of the other things that come with the career. So we honor now 3 retirees from 2017 and at the very beginning of this year. Our first retiree went in November of 2017. Jim Jordan started with us in April of 1991 and retired in early November. He spent much of his career as an officer on days in the prevention division, and had done a tremendous amount of work. If you look at any of the buildings that have been built and development that has happened, it's probably got Jim Jordan's fingerprints on it in some fashion from a prevention and plan review and an inspection standpoint. So we're very, very happy, Jim, for you, and we're very thankful for all the contributions that you've made to the organization, and I'd like to invite you to come forward and get a little something on behalf of the department. So for each of our retirees, we take the badge from each rank that they held in the organization and build a little shadow box for them. And so Jim, I would like to present you with this shadow box with some reminders of the roles that you held in the organization during your career. I can't believe Jim is not going to say a few words. I'd like to invite anybody to come forward that would care to share a memory or two about Jim and the time that he had in the department. And I think I saw Josh here. So who's got a story? I know there's a story. No? All right, well, we'll tell the stories after the ceremony. How's that? Very good. So, Jim, congratulations. Next, we're going to honor Captain John Stuckey. If you'll come forward. Because John didn't make it back to the council meeting from Goldendale, we have also his plaque from the city here that reads, wow, that's really loud. With sincere appreciation for 34 years of dedicated service to the citizens and staff of the city of Richland, January 3rd, 1984 to January 6th, 2018, John Stuckey, Fire Captain. And again, we put your captain's badge in a shadow box for you here as a small token of our appreciation for the time that you spent and what you contributed to our organization.
Thank you very much.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Yeah. I will share a quick story about John. I was 20 going on 16 when I got hired here, and worked on the same shift with John right out of the gate. And John was the first officer that actually extended an invitation to me to do some outside training. And so we got in his Subaru and drove down to Plymouth and we did flammable liquids fire training, and I remember distinctly how much fun that was. All this flammable liquids on fire and the smoke boiling in the air, and we're diving in there with our bunks on and doing extinguisher suppression on that. And I distinctly remember that because as a new employee in the organization, you know, it takes a little time to find your way and make those connections and build those relationships. And several of the other guys that I hired in with had family in the area or had grown up here, and I appreciate and distinctly remember that invitation and that connection that you offered a new kid that had a whole bunch to learn. So thank you for that, John. Anybody else want to say a word or two up front and in public about your time with John? Okay, very good. We'll share some more stories after. Finally, we want to honor Gordon Minter. Gordon hired in May 1986 and retired January of 2018. He told me when he retired that he would be coming to this celebration in his feral gas truck, and he is a man of his word. So when we saw the truck pull in the parking lot, we all had a good laugh and knew that Gordon was here. So Gordon, come on up. I also have a plaque from the city for Gordon with sincere appreciation for 31 years of dedicated service to the citizens and staff of the city of Richland, May 29th, 1986 to January 4th, 2018, firefighter Gordon Minter. And likewise, a small token of our appreciation for your time and contribution to this organization.
It's kind of funny the talkative ones didn't want to talk. I won't be too long. I want to tell everybody it's been an honor and privilege to work and serve the community, the city of Richland. I will miss the people immensely. They're a great group of people. For all the new guys, sorry some of the new ones aren't here. Enjoy it. I got to tell the story because it's about Tom when he's a firefighter. And it's my story, so I can say it, so you can't correct me, but it was almost a year before the first morning where I didn't want to come to work. And I'm going, so cherish that honor and that privilege. It's just like, it's exciting to come to work at this place. And then after that, I was driving, and I swear Tom was smiling at his reflection as he was at tailboard in the window. And it just made me happy. But it also brought memories. It's just like, man, I remember that feeling so well. It was great. It was just exciting to be here and work at this place. The culture has changed immensely. It's much, much better. Great group of people to work for. I don't think you can find anybody better. I want to give a shout out to the Richland Police Department. Sorry Mike Cobb couldn't be here, the ageless one, but there's other ones. And I want to thank those guys because I knew they always had our back. And it is a tremendous comfort. Again, thank you very much.
Anybody have any public stories they'd like to share? No. Very good. We hold our retirees in a very special place in our hearts here at Richland Fire, and we've got a few in the back here that joined us. Thank you to all of you for being here. It is, you know, you've heard the expression, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and the work that you did, the organization that you created, the department that you built is what we continue to bring into the future and what we build upon. And we are indebted to each of you for what you did in your time here, and we're thankful for that as well. To the three of you who retired, congratulations. We will miss you, and we hope to see you around the station for visits, for a cup of coffee, to stop in and give some sage advice to the youngsters that are running around the place now, and share some of that experience and wisdom that you gained over the years in the organization and in the community. To wrap up, I just want to express my appreciation to each of you here at the fire department. As I said earlier, I could not be more proud to be part of an organization than I am here at Richland Fire. And I will extend that to our brothers in blue over the police department. I value my relationship with the police chief and our department's relationship. And I can say that in Richland, we take a very strong public safety approach by working together. And not every community is as fortunate as we are to have that reality. So thank you to all of you as well. And finally, I would be remiss if I did not thank all of the family members who are here. You are our rock, you are our backbone, you are the support system that allows us to come to work and provide the services that we do to the community. And without you helping all of us, there wouldn't be no fire department. So for everybody in uniform or for those who work for the fire department, let's give our families a little round of applause here.